Lagarde from the European Central Bank was relatively hawkish yesterday on the euro, meaning that they are not looking to further cut interest rates, meaning that she is bullish for the euro. Hence why the euro USD yesterday pushed up higher. Now, good morning, guys. It's raining absolutely like crazy today in Amsterdam. That's why I'm a little bit late today with this market outlook. I am and remain a human. I'm not some kind of AI who's doing these market outlooks every morning, if you might have thought that. But guys, euro USD with absolutely sexy price action. I absolutely love it. What we are seeing here on euro USD, and I'm going to break it down for you. So, Euro USD on the higher time frame, guys. What have we been seeing? Now I'm going to move myself here to left top, and what we're going to first of all note down is the break of structure line. So what we had here was a break of structure in towards the upside, and that then established that we were bullish, right? So we have an overall swing low here at the bottom of the range, and we have an overall swing high here at the top. Now, once we've identified that market structure is bullish, what is the next step? Well, we draw in the overall swing structure with the PVD. Now, the PVD is the premium versus discount tool, and based on the premium versus discount tool, you can very clearly see that the market retraced into discount pricing, exactly that 0.5 fib, and in addition to that, it liquidated what? It liquidated the major bump in the road. So after liquidating this bump in the road, we have one lick, right? So 2, we have PVD with the 0.5 fib. 3, we have MS being market structure. And then 4, we need demand /5 FTB, right? So I kind of consider the FTB and the demand zone to be the same thing, where I just wait for a demand order flow to start forming. So back in the days here, we saw a little liquidity low swipe. Then here we had the fractal high break. I used the fractal indicator to understand if we are bullish or bearish. And then what we saw happening here on the daily time frame was that the market started to form some demand. So here we had demand based on fractal structure, and then again here we had demand, but that then developed kind of like into an overall, let's say, bigger range. But at all times, the low of that demand zone, it didn't get broken, only just like these little liquidity swipes. So overall, the demand zone kept pushing the market up higher until what happened this week. And let me just clean up the charts again, because we don't need all of these lines and little confluences drawn on. All you need to understand here is that this week, this area of imbalance, so this little imbalance candle, this bullish one and the bearish one, these caused there to be demand within the market, because it kind of caused us to take out these highs with a candlestick break, something that was not able to happen throughout the entirety of August. Now, yesterday, what happened in the morning is we tapped into that demand zone, and then from there we started pushing up higher together with the monthly open. So you guys know it, I talk about it so many times. The monthly open is just that natural area of support and resistance that you always want to have when looking for a trade. It just really boosts the overall confluence of the trade. So overall, the swing structure was bullish on euro, and then after the hawkish remarks, together with the demand zone here and the daily fractal structure being bullish, longs were the only thing that made sense. So we saw that for the upside push. I personally did not trade euro USD because of the consolidative nature. I did trade 2 other pairs, but I'm going to show that in a second. So that's then euro. Now euro USD, I'm expecting this to continue pushing up higher. I'm looking for an overall continuation in towards the highs. Again, what do we have here, guys? We have an overall impulse in towards the upside. Then what do we have here? We have a liquidity low. So when you were to look at this from a 4-hour perspective, all you're simply doing is doing the exact same thing I just did on the daily, where we say, okay, this is the swing low, this is the swing high, this here was the break of structure up. Now, what do we need for the continuation up higher? 1, we need market to retrace into the 0.5 fib. We retrace exactly again into the 0.5 fib. Then 2, what do we need? We need liquidity. Here we have a liquidity low. 3, what do we need? We need the demand zone. Well, here we have a sub for a buy. And this one I highlighted at the beginning of the week, guys. So you can watch back Monday's market outlook. If you are here every single day, then you know that we were looking at this area of demand to look for longs. And then what do we get when we tap into that demand zone? We get the 4-hour fractal structure shift in towards the highs. I think it was this high, or I thought it was that high, but ultimately then this is the low break, and then this same high breaks up higher. But you can look at it also from a 1-hour perspective, and then you see the clear liquidity sweep in towards the lows again here on the internal structure, monthly rejection, and then with the CPI news, it just flew in towards the highs together with the European Central Bank being hawkish on the euro. So I'm now just looking for euro USD to continue pushing up higher in towards that 3 monthly level for now. And yeah, that's my next pretty much target for euro. And overall, I would favor it to take out this overall kind of like swing high. Now, Why am I looking for that potentially to push up higher? Well, I'm also looking at the dollar, and the dollar did exactly as we also anticipated yesterday. We were looking at this area of supply to potentially push the market down lower. Now we can see that yesterday, what happened? Well, we came up higher. Well, towards what did we come up, guys? Well, we came up towards this little bump in the road. Now, again, guys, I'm doing the same thing over and over again. What do we have over here? Well, we have bearish market structure ultimately, right? So here we have the breaker structure down. Now, this is the impulse down. So what do we look at? We look at the little bumps in the road for liquidity points. So here we have a liquidity point, and here we have a liquidity point. Here we take out the liquidity. We have equal highs here, and then we tap into that daily supply zone. And in addition to that, if you were to go to the 4-hour time frame and draw in a fib, let me just remove all the stuff, draw in a fib, where do we retrace to? 0.5 fib. Again, clear as day. So for now, what I'm looking for is for this overall order flow to continue from this buy before the sell that liquidated this, and for the market to continue pushing down lower in towards what? Well, in towards one of these 3 lows. And then from there, potentially we could see a dollar reversal back in towards the highs once again. So that is the dollar index for you. Then if we move on into our next pair, which is GBPUSD today, GBPUSD was one of the trades that I took yesterday. Now, what you can see here is the trades that I was in. I had a GBPUSD buy, I had a USDCHF sell, and an XRP buy. Now, what we can see from GBPUSD here is that GU bounced beautifully off of that monthly level, right? Again, the monthly open doing its thing. Now, you guys know as well that I was looking for that pullback trade to push up higher on GU in towards where? Well, in towards the overall equal highs, which are still open, which is more specifically this high over here. So I'm looking still for GU to trade in towards that blue dotted line, which is still open, for the rest of or in towards the end of this week. So let's see if we can get that from GBPUSD. Overall, the position itself made a lot of sense for me because it was pro order flow. So again, if we look at the 1-hour time frame, remember what I was saying all week. I was looking for a short position if we were to break this low because the internal structure was bullish like this. But then what I identified here was that this is the swing low, this is the swing high, monthly open here. And this was kind of like an intraday opportunity to take along back in towards the highs, pro kind of like intraday order flow here on the 1-hour time frame, right? Then if we look at the 4-hour time frame, on the 4-hour time frame, it also just made a lot of sense, as again the sell for the buy here is in control. And then here on the 1-hour time frame, you kind of have like a little bump in the road again, with this here acting as liquidity. And then you're just looking for a better entry point. This is just a little bit too early to take buys over here, but the monthly open was a very nice level to buy. So for EURUSD, or for GBPUSD, excuse me, I'm now looking for this to continue a little bit up higher, and then I'll start looking for short positions once again, once the dollar index reaches one of those lows, okay? So that's the GU for you. Then going into AUDUSD. So AUDUSD pushed up higher as expected again. We can see pro order flow, demand holding. I said further upside, and further upside has come. Look for this to push at least in towards this blue dotted line over here, or this one over here, and then maybe we could start seeing a pullback. But for now, it's extremely bullish. NZDUSD, pretty much the same story, though it was slightly better for potential shorts. As yes, the market structure on NU was bearish, right? So, or is bearish still. So this here's the swing high, this here's the swing low. So that's a very good area of value to potentially start selling off. However, you can see where the dollar index is currently trading, not yet at an ideal level to look for shorts on NU or for longs on a dollar. For now, this is obviously kind of like the sell for the buy that is in control. And yesterday, I, by the way, mentioned, watch out, this is a range. We could just sweep the range low and then reverse up higher with CPI. All that happened. So that's why I was not ever looking at selling the overall fractal low break here in towards the downside. Now, what I'm looking for is for the market to potentially start selling off in the future, because if we break the 4-hour fractal low, then I'll be looking at shorts. But for now, this is a strong overall low / strong overall demand zone because it liquidated this low here to the left. So the overall intraday kind of like trend is still very, very bullish. So it doesn't make sense to look for a short from this level yet. We need to wait for the market structure internally to shift bearish as well. Because yes, the outer structure may be bearish like this, but the inner structure is not yet ready. Yes, we've retraced into above the 0.5 fib. Yes, we've had liquidity. Yes, market structure is bearish, but we need the FTB. We need the overall supply zone to start pushing the market down lower. Yes, we have some supply zone over here, but then again, there's no confirmation. So I would prefer for it to, again, manipulate in towards the upside and then, for example, make a fractal break, and then we could look for a sell. So a lot of lines, a lot of explaining, but I hope you guys like this explanation and understand it. Now, USDCHF was, I think, one of the most sexy trades this week because I bought it from the 3-month level, but I sold it from the monthly level. And this is why I love the opens, man. I'm not sure if you guys are inside Discord. If you are, then you know in my update channel I talked about it. The 3-month level is just an open level that always provides us with a bounce. So once we retraced in towards that, I traded the fractal break. I explained this yesterday. The double fractal break in towards the upside. I traded it because I wanted to trade back towards the liquidity point because I was expecting, yes, the trend might be bearish here, but if it's going to continue down lower, what does it need to do? It needs to take out the bump in the road. So I just traded the long in towards the bump in the road. We take out the bump in the road. Again, it's the exact same confluence that I'm explaining here every day on every single setup today as well. Break a structure down, swing structure like this, market retraced into the 0.5 fib. 0.5 fib gets hit, liquidity gets taken, monthly open gets hit, and then the 4-hour fractal break in towards the downside like this. So yeah, this is a beautiful setup that I'm in, and I'm looking for this to continue to sell off. Then we have USDJPY. USDJPY, Lazar, if you're watching this, massive shout out to you. He is the person that took a sell from this supply zone over here. The chart might seem a little bit messy, but I promise you it is so bloody simple, guys. 75% level you look to sell, 25% level we look to buy, and the 25% level is this green bottom zone, 75% is the green top zone. Now overall for USDJPY, look where this thing stops pushing down at the monthly open again. But for now, UJ is not really a pair that I'm looking to trade, as it's again in the middle of a range, and I do think this was the nice sell from this supply zone over here, again with the liquidity low here, break or structure down. I mean, it happens every single time. Here, swing structure down, then what happens? We have the liquidity, we go towards the liquidity, and then we sell off once we're in premium pricing. Now, the only thing here is that you have the monthly level kind of like in the way of pushing us down lower. I am still bearish on UJ, but it's just not really providing us with any opportunities. So I would kind of like want to stay out of this for now. Now, another pair that I talked about yesterday on the live stream was USDCAD. USDCAD was very nice. It retraced all the way back up in towards the 75% level. You can watch back yesterday's market outlook. I talked about it as well, 75% level, looking for shorts from there. It gave the fractal break in towards the downside, and then from that moment onwards, we should continue down lower. You can see prices stalling at the weekly open, but once it breaks this, it's going to continue down lower. So it needs to break that, and then we'll have some intraday positions again that you could potentially scale in on like the 1 hour time frame, for example. But overall, for USDCAD, I'm looking for this to trade back towards the equal lows here / monthly open. So I'm looking for that to further sell off, and then in line also with the dollar index potentially dropping. And of course, last of all, guys, we have gold. Yeah, what did I say yesterday? A fake out on this low, and then look for the 1 hour change of character. If you were in the live stream as well, I mentioned that I was then looking for this just to continue up higher, and it has. So yeah, congratulations if you took it. It's not really that complicated, because on gold, you're just looking for liquidation of a low. And then for the market to continue up higher again. So for this, I'm just looking for it to continue up higher. Now, where did we come in towards? We came towards this liquidity high. I'm looking for this high still to get taken out. So I'm still looking for the next drive up on gold. But yeah, I mean, again, if you watched the market outlook yesterday, not every single day you can trade a pair, right? So today, for example, gold is not really the pair that you want to be trading. You wanted to be trading it yesterday. Why? Well, because we liquidated the low, and then we got the 1 hour change of character in towards the upside. So watch back yesterday's market outlook. I said gold should push up higher if we can liquidate this low over here. We did. And yeah, now if you're in those longs, congratulations, and let me know in the comment section down below. So yeah, I mean, guys, another good market outlook. If you have any questions, let me know. And if you want to learn how to trade like this and make those kind of returns on prop firm accounts or on personal capital, then make sure to reach out to me. You can just click on the link down below, yt.thetradingacademy.com. We do daily live sessions together with the entire team, and we're just there to help you guys out. And you can see I do it with full transparency every single day. I'm here just helping you guys out for free. And yeah, I'm not gatekeeping any information. But if you want to join me for daily live sessions where you really have the opportunity to ask questions to either me or the team, then you know what to do. Well, thanks, guys, and see you in the next video on Monday, and have a good weekend. Love you all. Thanks.